Hey guys, it's Marie here, and today we're going to talk about jaw release, neck release and shoulder release. So this is an area of the body where we typically tend to hold a lot of tension. So every time we're stressed, anxious, uncertain about anything that might happen, we just generally tend to just hold loads of tensions into the shoulder, the neck, potentially we clench our jaw. So what we're going to work on today is actually just creating a bit of space in that area and just recreate some sense of mobility, because when you think about this area, shoulders, neck, they've been built to be mobile. And so when we build that tension and that tightness, then we basically start to restrict mobility in that area. So not only might it create pain, but it also you can just feel very restricted. So the focus for today is really going to be about opening all of this up and releasing some of that tension. So we're going to spend the first part of the practice to do that. And then after that, we're going to move a little bit to just see how you can integrate that in your practice. And lastly, I just wanted to give you a few tips that you can just include in your day-to-day, just tweak your day-to-day to just basically avoid this from building up in the future and just feel more generally open and remove some of that tightness. So, okay, so let me just show you. At the moment, most of us are a bit like that. I'm caricaturing a little bit, but so if you look at how we are, shoulders are rounded, neck is forward, chin is forward. Why is that? It's typically because we tend to work like this on our laptop, and it's especially true at the moment if we don't have a proper workstation to work on. So we work like that. And even on top of that, every time you look at your phone, you typically tend to look like that. So the body is absolutely amazing, but basically when we are too long in a position, the body thinks, hey, it's normal. That's where my neck and my shoulders should be. So we just tend to be like that. And something that I've seen very often happen, and I mean, I've done this for a really long time until I understood a little bit better how the body works, is when you actually start to notice that you have any imbalance or something is quite tight, then what the normal reaction is, oh, I'm gonna do the exact counter effect to balance that out. So if you're like this, typically one potential reaction would be to say, hey, let me put my neck back. But you're not changing anything else. So you can see here that it's not only very uncomfortable, but you're also creating in some ways more imbalances, because your shoulders are still rounded and then you're putting your back in a very unnatural position. So we need to understand that everything works together. And I think that's why typically when we have tension in the neck or tension in the jaw, it will kind of permeate down into the shoulders or into some sort of overall tightness here. So when we are looking like that, obviously because everything is connected, what we're gonna have to do is work on opening the shoulders and bringing back the neck to the right position. And you see that when I do that, instead of just cranking my neck back and creating more imbalance, I basically just bring the body naturally back to where it's supposed to be. So you basically start to recreate a nice sense of balance and ease into the body, which is basically what we're going to focus on today. So what we're going to work on is opening the front. So your pecs generally when you're like that are very tight. So we're going to open the front body, and we're going to work on strengthening the back body, because when we are like that, this becomes, all of the muscles in our back become really weak and the muscle in our neck become really weak. So we're going to want to open this, remove some of the tightness here, and strengthen the back. And once we start to work to figure out what the right position is, we basically, and we put the neck in the right position, the shoulder in the right position, then suddenly a lot of tightness that accumulates, because we're just rounding or we're just putting the body into this balance, kind of disappears. So, okay, so that's basically what we're going to work on today. And we're going to start by lying on our back onto the mat. So, but actually, before we start, the only thing that you're going to need for today, you're going to need a cushion. Or if you have a flat block, you can also take a flat block. But a cushion is great. It's just so that you can sit on something and that feels a little bit elevated. And the other things you're going to need is a strap. Or if you don't have a strap, because some of us don't have a strap and that's cool, you can use a belt, or you can also use this exercise bands. And that's absolutely fine for what we're going to do. So either a strap, a belt, or one of these exercise bands, absolutely fine. So that being said, we're going to start on our back. So come to lie down onto your mat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And you can bring one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And so, as I was saying, the feeling of this tightness in this area is generally the result of us feeling either stress or tense or tight or anxious about anything. So, as you lie down onto the ground, can you start to relax your body onto the ground? So you're just breathing in and out through the nose. Just a nice natural breath. But can you send a clear intention of softening your body? And if it helps to move your hips side to side to create a bit more space, or find your space on the mat, just feel free to do that. And just slowly start to soften and relax your shoulders onto the ground. Soften your back. So it's almost as if you were taking more space onto the mat with your body. Soften your hips. Soften your feet. Almost feeling a sense of weight onto the ground. And just maybe do a quick scan of your body and just notice any points of tightness or tension in the body. It might be in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your hips, anywhere it might be. And can you just start to soften that area? Consciously soften that area. And if, for example, you notice your jaw is really tight, you're always very welcome to keep your mouth open a little bit. And slowly, very gently, start to extend the breath. So you're inhaling for a little bit longer. Inhaling a little bit more deeply, and as you're exhaling a little bit more deeply. So you might notice that your hands are growing and moving up a little bit more, and as you exhale, they're drawing back in a little bit more. And as you're breathing in and out a little bit more deeply, maybe you can use the exhale to just create a feeling of surrendering, of letting go of anything you might be holding on to. And maybe noticing your body relaxing a little bit more onto the ground. one deep, long breath like this. And at the end of your exhale, bring the palm of the hands together, rub the palms together. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed here. Often we tend to bring our shoulders up towards our ear when we do that, but keeps a nice softness into those shoulders. Rub the palm of the hands, so you're creating some heat, and then bring the palm of the hands onto your eyes. Exhaling deeply through the nose, completely relaxing your body. Bringing in some darkness, cool the nervous system. And sending a message to your body that you're in a place of peace and calm. And then very slowly remove your hands, bring your knees onto your chest. You can bring your knees together or knees wide, whatever feels nice. Just even roll side to side if that feels nice for your lower back. And then roll on any side that feels comfortable for you. And just gently bring yourself up into seated position. So I'm going to come a little bit closer to the screen so that you can see. So you can sit onto your cushion or onto your flat block, or if that feels comfortable for you, you can come to kneel. So kneeling, just being on your knees with your sit bones down onto your heels. Great, so just pick any position that makes you feel grounded and a position that you can hold for the practice. So what we want to do here, wherever you are, whether you're seated or onto your knees, you want to make sure that you engage your core muscle a little bit so that you're maintaining your spine in a nice neutral position. So you don't want to arch your spine, you just want to bring your navel in so that you're nice and straight. Nice. Now bring your shoulders up, and as you exhale, bring your shoulders down. So you're just gently bringing your shoulders back. Just gonna get ready for the practice. So we're gonna start with the jaw and releasing the jaw. So we're gonna do a first exercise which is really sexy, but you're gonna do it from your home so no one sees you, that's cool. But it's really helpful, I found, to basically create a little bit of release into the mouth. So it's a breathing exercise. So we're gonna breathe in through the nose, and as we exhale, you're gonna exhale through the mouth and flap your lips. So inhale through the nose and exhale. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Inhale. And you can do 2 more times of exactly the same, or add a little bit of sound with your voice. So inhale through the nose. Inhale. Okay, so it's a bit silly, but generally I find it really helps to create a bit of ease into all of that area. So now we're going to talk jaw. So the big muscle in the jaw that is going to create most of the problem is this bad boy here. So this muscle here is a muscle that connects the jaw to your skull. And it's a really important muscle because it's the muscle that helps you to chew your food. So it's one of the strongest muscles in the body when you look at its size. And it makes sense. You need to just make sure that you chew your food properly, so it needs to be strong enough to do that. So when you look at it, it basically starts from the bottom of your jaw here, and it's going to move up all the way here until you reach that sort of bony part here in your cheekbone area. And from there, it's going to connect to another muscle that goes 45 degrees back, and that connects to your skull just there. And what it's going to enable you to do is to chew your food. So because it's such a strong muscle, it's very dense. And so it has the ability to become very tight. And when it becomes very tight, you feel it quite quickly. And it's just really unpleasant. It can even be quite painful, to be honest. So what we're going to work on is we're going to work on releasing and massaging the fascia. So as you know, the fascia is the connective tissue that connects the muscle, the ligaments, basically all of this, everything together so that everything moves as a whole. So what we're going to start with, and basically before we start, when things get really tense, just massaging the fascia will already create some release. So we're going to start with taking 2 fingers and bring them at the tip of your jaw here. So don't forget you sit straight, your shoulders are back and down, your navel is in, so you're not arching your spine as we said. Now press your fingers in and very slowly, again, modify the pressure depending on how tight it is. So if it's super tight, this is going to feel quite painful. So again, you can really modify, just pick the point of pressure that feels right, okay? So press in. And then keeping the pressure in, you're going to move up slowly, very slowly, along the fiber of the muscle. And as you move in slowly, you keep your shoulders down and soft. And you're breathing in and out deeply. And once you reach the bony part, start to bring your fingers back 45 degrees. So we're following the other muscle. You can even add more fingers here. And you're moving all along the skull. And that actually feels quite nice, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to do that 2 more times. Both fingers here. Press in. And slowly press. Move all the way up along the fiber. And as you do that, keep on breathing in and out deeply. Keep your shoulders soft, keep your jaw soft. And then moving back 45 degrees as you reach the cheekbone. Last one, up. Press in. And again, you can modify the pressure depending on how many times you've done it. And you can see, like, I've been doing this maybe 3 or 4 times every day because my jaw was really tight. And I can already feel that it's not as sensitive when I do that. And so it actually really works. There's more mobility and this becomes less sensitive. So that's the first exercise. The second exercise is, instead of going in the center of the fiber, we're going to take our fist and create little circles. So same here, keep your shoulders back and down, jaw is relaxed, your mouth is still closed, but you're creating a little circular movement. And you might very well notice little knots, little points of tension here. So you're very welcome to put the focus on those as well. So these 2 are pretty much exercises you can do all the time. There are a couple of other exercises that I want to show you. Again, same concept of pressure points. So take your 2 fingers and just come maybe 1 or 2 fingers up from the tip of the jaw. And you're going to feel that really dense area here of the jaw. Press in quite deeply, and it might not feel very nice. Might feel a bit discomfortable, especially if it's tight. Keep your mouth shut. And just, even with your mouth shut, can you relax your jaw? And reconnect with that really deep inhale and exhale that you've established at the beginning of the practice when you were lying on your back. And you can do that for 3 cycles of breath, and then for the next 3, open your mouth and completely relax your jaw. And continue with the pressure point. Still breathing in and out deeply. Nice. And it already should feel a little bit more free. So you can do that anytime you want, by the way. At times when my jaw was really tight, I was doing that maybe 4 times a day. And even after a couple of days, so much better. So really feel free to do those exercises whenever you want, and just adjust the pressure as well. So now we're going to move on to the neck. So as I said, everything is connected. So what we're going to work on is first reintroduce some mobility in the shoulder area. So sit straight. And very gently, you can do little circles with your shoulders. And you might hear a little bit of cracking, which is fine. And if you've done it on one side, you can do it on the other side. Nice. Now sit heavy onto your sit bones. Just gonna move the spine a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, twist onto the right. So bring your left hand on the outside of your right thigh, left hand behind you. And because we're gonna move the neck later, keep your neck aligned with, your gaze aligned with your chest. You don't need to bring your neck all the way back. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Nice inhale, come all the way back up. And then as you exhale, twist onto the other side. So again, you want to make sure you keep your navel drawn in so that you're not arching your spine. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And you can keep your gaze, which I haven't even done, but you can keep your gaze in front of your chest. Nice inhale, come all the way back up. Interlace your fingers up, and then as you exhale, bow onto the right hand side. So both sit bones are heavy towards the ground. It doesn't matter how deep down you move. The focus here is to really create that breathe into the side of the body. Nice inhale, come all the way back up, and then exhale onto the other side. Nice inhale, come all the way back up. Nice. Now take hold of your strap. So I'm going to move back a little bit so that you can see. So you want your strap, bring your hands quite wide, and you want to pull your hands apart from each other. Nice. So you'll notice again here that I'm keeping my navel in. I'm not arching. So slowly on the next inhale, reach your arms up. You keep drawing your hands apart, and as you exhale, bring your hands behind you. Really slow motion. And just stop to the point, at the point where you can feel that your pecs, so the front of the body, stretches. So this side here, between the shoulder, the front of the shoulders, and your chest. And you'll notice that I stop quite high here. If I was arching my spine, I could go much further down, but I don't want to do that. So keep your navel in, keep your spine in a nice neutral position, and just stop at the point where you feel your pecs open up. And as we saw earlier, when we are creating that rounded position, the pecs become really tight and the mid-back becomes really weak. So keep on feeling like that heaviness when you sit. And just breathe in and out. Slowly, deep, long breath in and out. Nice. Now take one more breath like that. And without changing your hands, create the action of drawing your shoulder blades down. Nice. We're going to stay here for 3 deep, long breaths. Notice how suddenly what you're doing by doing that, you're asking your back to engage and switch on, which is what we want. We want to strengthen the back, which is quite weak. So keep actively pressing, drawing your shoulder blades down. Keep on breathing in. By doing that, you're not only opening the front body, which is quite tight, but you're also strengthening the back. Nice. And then slowly inhale, come all the way back up. Nice. And then bring your strap onto the side. Great. So now come back, and again, you might be still seated. I'm just kneeling, but any is fine. Bring your hands onto your thighs. Bring your shoulders back. Gonna do a few breathing exercises. Inhale slowly. Bring your gaze up. You're stretching the front of the leg. Exhale, come all the way back to center. And then inhale, drop your chin. And then exhale, come all the way back to center. Inhale, bring your gaze towards the right. Exhale, come all the way back to center. Keep your shoulders down throughout this exercise. And then inhale, bring your gaze towards the left. Exhale, come all the way back to center. This time, I'm going to do the same, but extend your arms either side. Inhale, lift your gaze up. And exhale, come all the way back to center. Inhale, bring your gaze down. Chin against your chest. Exhale, come all the way back to center. Inhale, bring your gaze towards the right. And you might start to feel that stretch into the outer shoulder, the neck, maybe the arm. Exhale, come all the way back to center. And then inhale, bring your gaze towards the left. Again, you might feel that stretch quite intensely in your neck, shoulder, or arm. In exhale, come all the way back to center. Nice. Now keep your hands where they are, but take hold of your right here with your left arm, with your left hand, and then pull your head towards the side. Nice. So you're using your hand to pull your head towards your side. You'll notice that I keep my head straight, so I'm not bringing my chin down. It's still straight. And now make sure that your left shoulder is nice and relaxed. Now resist the pull with your hand. Yes. And just start to feel how, the more you resist, the more intense the stretch is going to be all along the outer neck area. But if you're really tight, you might even feel it in the shoulders or even all the way down the arm. You're very welcome to close your eyes here. Just connect with your breath. Deep, long breath in through the nose. Deep, long breath out through the nose. Nice. Slowly inhale, come all the way back to center. Extend your left arm and then just take hold of the opposite here with your right hand. Pull your head towards the side. Make sure that your right shoulder is nice and relaxed. And then resist the pull of your hand with your head. Just make sure your chin is facing forward. You're not rounding the back of the neck. And again, feel free to modify the intensity as you see fit. So you're going to feel that really deep stretch into the outer, the side of the neck, the shoulder, or even the arms. Nice. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly come all the way back. Great. Now inhale, reach your arms up. One last exercise to strengthen the back. As you exhale, cactus your arms down. Imagine there's some resistance. Draw your shoulder blades down as you do that. Notice your back engage when you do that. Inhale, reach your arms up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down. Imagine there's resistance against your arm as you do that. Last one. Inhale. And then exhale. Really strengthening the mid back here. Great. So we've opened the front body. We've worked on strengthening the mid back. So it's much easier already for our shoulders to be more mobile and be back where they're supposed to be. Now, as I said, when we're like that, the back of the neck and our deep neck flexor are quite weak. So what we want to do, we just want to strengthen them. So take hold of your strap, or if you have an elastic band, great. And bring the band behind your head. And imagine that you're not doing anything. So you're coming into your sort of default position, chin forward, neck forward. Nice. Now stay here. And as you inhale, pull your head back and bring your chin into your double chin. Nice. Exhale deeply. Release your shoulders. Now take a big long breath in. Big long breath out. Big long breath in. It's quite intense. And then slowly as you exhale, very gently bring your chin forward. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, slowly bring your head back. Bring your sexy double chin in. Exhale, slowly through the nose. Relax your shoulders. Take a big long breath in. Keep pulling your head back. Exhale, soften your shoulders. And if you still feel tension in your jaw and it feels nice to keep your jaw nice, gently open, do that. Nice, and then slowly release, remove the band. It's quite intense, that one, right? But basically what you're doing here is just strengthening all of the deep neck flexor. So basically what we're doing now is we're creating an environment for the body to be able to hold the head in the right place, because those muscles can just switch on now. So you'll notice that now, because we've worked on opening all the front and strengthening all of the back, we can move from this to basically a nice balanced position where your chest is open, your shoulders are back in the right place, and your neck is back in the right place. Now, take one of your hands and bring your fingers onto basically the base of your skull, of your neck, and you'll feel that big, bulgy vertebra here. That's your C7. Now bring your other hand in the middle of your back, of your neck, and what you want to do, you want the middle of the neck to be almost above the C7. So notice when you don't do anything when your neck is. Now bring your neck back, and again, it will not come all the way above the C7 because you still have a small curve into your neck. But if you put one finger, the finger will be above the C7. And it might not feel very natural when you do that because we're not used to do that. But basically, it's just to show you how forward our neck is. And when we do that, look at how nice. It's almost like a very gracious neck position where we're in that position. We're just not used to that. So it's just something to be aware of. And imagine almost you have a thread pulling the top of your head towards the ceiling. So it becomes very long. You have a very long neck and very gracious neck. It's just a natural neck position. So again, why am I telling you that? Because it's just so that you understand a little bit more how everything is connected and how bring your awareness on where to place your neck or place your shoulders. And once they are in the right place, then suddenly all of the tension and tightness that we accumulate because we're just compensating or overcompensating in another direction just disappears, because the body is in a nice state of balance. Just the last few things that I think can be helpful so that you are integrating that in your day-to-day, and it's little things that you can do to tweak your day-to-day so that you're kind of making it easy for you to just not round your spine. So the first one is, if you're working from home, if there's a way that you can bring your screen eye level, basically what it will avoid to do, you won't have to do this. You will just basically just be straight. And so that will be much, much nicer for your neck. Then the other thing is these exercises that we saw, whether it's jaw, neck, shoulder, you can do this anytime you want. And again, the nice thing is that there will be days when you will feel tighter than others. You can vary the intensity. So just play around with them. Again, it should never feel painful. If there's pain anywhere, back out. Just adjust and vary the intensity. And again, for example, the jaw exercises, if you need to do them for 3 or 4 times a day for a few days because it's so tense, you're very welcome to do that. And you might notice that some are more effective to you than others. That's fine. And the last thing is, if your neck is really tight at the moment, something that I found is really helpful is to sleep without a pillow. So if you have one of those really cool pillows which kind of maintain the integrity of the spine, that's great. But if you don't, try to sleep on your back without a pillow for a few days. It might not feel great, especially if you're not used to it, but what it will do, it will make sure that you put your head in a nice neutral position, and it will basically relieve any tension onto your neck while you sleep, and you should feel quite nice and free in the morning. So otherwise, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I hope it was helpful. Hopefully you should already feel much freer. And I mean, to me, the more important thing is once you understand how everything is connected and how just opening your shoulders and working on your neck position suddenly just bring everything back into the right place. I think for me, that's the most important thing, because once you can stay aware of this, when you walk, when you get on with your day, wherever it might be, when you go grocery shopping, or when you just have a walk outside, or when you sit at a table for dinner, or even when you work, whenever it is, bring back the attention to how you're holding yourself and when your neck is. And you can always use your hand, as we saw, to just help yourself if you're basically losing track. Okay, that's pretty much it. So I think to close, let's just come into a nice seated position or kneeling. Hands onto your thighs. Shoulders back, chest open. Just close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Turn up the corner of your mouth, or again, if you want to keep your mouth open a little bit to release your jaw, feel free to do that. Just gently bring your palm of the hands together to touch. Just check in how you're feeling. Your shoulders are back. The back of your head is back, almost as if you were resting your head against a wall. Taking a big long breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Drop your chin. Namaste. Thank you guys. I'll see you very soon.
We hope you enjoyed the video. It's really important to us to keep our content free for everyone. So if you want to support us, then check out the donations link below.